bless. One last thing I'm going to say before we give her the mic is this. She was also the keynote speaker at our last graduation for Official Network and Chill. There was not a dry eye in the building. She's a true inspiration to my life personally. This is a person I personally call a spiritual advisor. I love you, Tina. And you are amazing, and you deserve this and more. Give it up for Tina Shaw.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to go tell y'all my story, but it'll be in an artistic form. Daddy! Daddy!
I am here.
Daddy, where are you?
I am here, my child.
Daddy, when I had my abortion, you wasn't there. I called you to come over, and I waited on the step, and you didn't come. Daddy! I called my sister, and she said that you weren't there. I don't know why you didn't come and pick me up. My mama said, you're going to wait out there all that time? Tina, he's not coming. Yes, he is. Yes, he is coming. Daddy, I'm pregnant. They're trying to make me have an abortion, Daddy. Please come. Durham, that's for God. This, I'm talking to you. You're really damaging me. You're breaking my spirit when you talk to me that way. My little brother used to say, why do they holler like that, Tina? He couldn't take it. He wasn't like me, so I instantly became a protector for him and began to speak for him. Don't talk to my brother like that. And I got my ass whooped, but that's okay, because he did. So as time went on, I continued to be his protector, putting him before myself, putting others before myself, putting men, whatever it is, putting friendship before myself. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I called it being solid. Oh, I'm solid. You need me, I'm there. I'm 24, I'm standing 10 toes down. What we gonna do? But when I needed somebody the most, when I had a nervous breakdown, didn't nobody understand it because nobody in my family said we need therapy. Let's sit down and talk about this. It was fighting and arguing, and then the next day it was as if nothing ever happened. So that was learned behavior. They were churchgoers, but I've never seen a change in nobody's life. They were members.
Come on.
I'm not trying to say what they walk is today. I'm saying what I saw. And we also got taught, don't do what I do, do what I say. But that's ridiculous. It was learned behavior. I'm going to do what you do because that's all I know. But I decided when I was 18, my godmother allowed me to live with her because I was rebellious. And as that time went on, my mother wasn't selfish with me. She didn't mind somebody else coming in to help because she needed help. My mother didn't know what to do with me. She just did not know what to do. She's going to keep beating me and beating me. The H didn't scare me. Police didn't scare me. I had to move with my granny. That didn't do no good. I still ran away. I was still rebellious. I was just promiscuous and wild, which is why I ended up in a lot of situations on being raped. While I was 16, being tied up, forced into prostitution in Kentucky. And I'm down there, but God was there. He was there in Kentucky. I told the man, this man is trying to make me prostitute. I don't want to. He said, I'm going to give you this money. You get on that Greyhound, and don't you ever come back down here. He took me there, but Drew was there. I don't know how he got there, how he even knew I was there. But he ended up choking me out, and he knocked me out, and I woke up in a hotel room with him telling me that I was going to do it. But by the grace of God, something switched in him, and I know it was a prayer. But I tried to run onto this church bus, and I was so scared that he was going to kill them. And the deacons and some pastors, I didn't know these people, they said to me, young lady, you don't have to leave with him. But I was so fearful. You know, fear cancels out faith, you know. I was so petrified of him that I thought that he would kill them. So again, see, I put myself in the line of fire for everybody else. When I could have been saved, I don't know, but that fear that he had over me, I stayed. And even after that, even after all of that, I went back. So my question is, why did you keep going back? Bill, this is where the low self-esteem and the low self-worth came from. And again, like I said, it wasn't that I saw it. It wasn't that someone told me I wasn't beautiful. As a matter of fact, they told me, you're smart, Tina, be better than us. But I had already been through so much that by the time I was 16, I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I was looking for my daddy. I was looking for him. But when I got a chance to talk to my father, and I was writing, and I want to share this with anybody that's holding resentments and trying to hold on, I'm telling you, don't do it. I held on for so long. I ain't calling that man. Calling for what? He ain't been there, I ain't did nothing, I'm cool. I ain't calling him, blah, blah, blah. And this is not to say that he wasn't there in some very trying times in my life, because he was. He did come looking for Drew, and somehow, by the grace of God, Drew wasn't there because he probably would have killed that man, but he wasn't there. But we're talking about my whole duration of my life, him not being there, me missing the absence of him. And the spirit of rejection that I still deal with right now. I'm healing right now. I'm walking in my healing, but it's still residue there. And I carry that on into relationships. But the great thing about that is that I was obedient. I called my dad and I asked him for forgiveness. And he said, baby, you don't owe me. You don't owe me that. I owe you that. Forgive me, baby. You don't have to tell me that. And I said, Daddy, I'm sorry. God told me that how can I say I love him and know that he is the beginning and the end, he's all knowing, and it's to use my same mouth and say that I hate you. And God told me I couldn't do that because God made no mistakes. Although it didn't make sense to me, I did it. And when I did that, it broke something in my father. So we started communicating. I told my sister about it. We talked about it, and she was happy, like, finally, because she was the person that we both went to. We poured into her, and she carried that along. Where it was overwhelming for her. I asked Daddy all kind of questions that I've been wanting to talk about, and we get ready to chop it up. I get there, and the lady that he was with, when I told her I was there to see him, she told me, he told me not to wake him up with nobody. I think that hurt more than anything that he could have ever done to me. Don't wake me up for don't wake him up for nobody. I'm his child. What are you talking about? Clearly you ain't talking about me. But she didn't do it. And I left devastated. And it was as if I was a little girl. But when I was waiting at that altar, it was like all of that just poured into me, all them years. Like it had just pulled salt into an open wound. I cried so hard. I cried. I talked to my grandmama. I talked to my sister. And it hurt me so bad. And I said, well, then I got angry again. But Daddy, see, if you had to spend more time, then she would have known, because I know she wouldn't have did that to my sister and brother. But because she felt like I'm just the other child, I felt this way. I ain't heard her say that, but this is how I felt. Because otherwise, why didn't you open up the door? So I held bitterness for a long time with that. Well, I get home, and me and my daddy, like I said, was talking. Months later, I said about 3 or 4 months later, or maybe a little more later than that, my father ended up passing. My sister ended up calling me while I was at work and told me my dad had passed. When I tell you that I was so upset with myself because I held on to anger for all them years, had I been obedient when God told me to call him years ago, and I let my anger fuel me to not doing that. But had I did that, I would have possibly been able to get the bond that I wanted or had the conversation that I wanted to have with my daddy. But he left here without me having that conversation. Not saying that we never had some great conversation, but not the conversation that I wanted to have. So if any of you here have hidden resentments towards somebody, you need to get that right, because tomorrow's not promised. If you got unforgiveness in your heart, forgiveness is for you, not the other person. It sets you free. It sets you free. And that is my journey with that. Seeking for love in all the wrong places, and it caused me a world of turmoil. But now moving forward, I get my life in order. I'm in a toxic marriage. I get out of that marriage. I couldn't even wash up. I couldn't take a shower. My hair was matted. I was a dressed up trash can. I knew how to come outside and look all right. But honey, at home, I was a hot mess. I'm talking about looking crazy. Now I'm in relapse again. Now I'm drinking and I'm getting high again. And I finally get over that. And I know that God heard my cry because I couldn't even pray. My tears said the prayers for me. And I got his strength because everything that he gave me or given you is already in us. So I began to speak life into myself. Get up, Tina. Do what you know you called to do. And I got up and I started Safe Haven Cleaning Company. I got up out of that toxic marriage and the flowers began to bloom. The flowers was dead when that nigga was there. I'm not lying about energy. When he left, the flowers began to bloom. Okay? I got rid of all of that. I started Safe Haven Cleaning, went on my journey. One day I said, I think I want to do a skit. Asked a young lady to come do a skit. My first skit did 4 million views. From one skit, went on to a play. Did a play, got 2 plays, sold out both times. The second one, technical difficulties. But I was able to heal through my skits because the skits that y'all see are somewhat based off of what I've really been through or either seen somebody go through. My family. There are some family members, I'm very family oriented, but there are some family members that don't understand the family dynamic like I do or that I would wish them to know. And then God gave me my own family. So I got the Tina Truth Skits family. I got people that I've never known in my life that helped me like we've been knowing each other all our life because they were sent by God. And I'm so thankful. I want to thank my sister who have heard every cry, who knows how to pour into my spirit. When I'm low, she knows exactly the prayer to say to me because she's my sister. And there's just some things that somebody else not going to really understand, but because that's my biological sister, she understands things too. She may not articulate herself the way that I do, but she may have that similar feeling as well. So she knows how to pour into my spirit. I want to thank my niece Maya, who told me, Annie, you need to show yourself some grace. I didn't realize that I didn't. I want to thank my Aunt Angie, who is, she and I are so much alike because she is that auntie that know your great